media, they make me act like I would act. I'm in jail, they reporting that I'm getting raped in jail. I'm sitting in jail, niggas is banging on my door going, "Pa, when? Why you ain't say that? What's going on?" Talking about I got raped in jail. Ain't this a bitch?
You did an interview with somebody, USA Today. Right?
Yeah.
Just about that, right?
No, I didn't even talk to them. They got that from somebody else. This other lady. But, you know what it was, though? I think this country just got a fixation on my dick.
And I'd like someone to bring me what made me say enough is enough. Where's my graphic? Bring it up here, please, somebody. I am here to put the nation on notice that violence perpetuated against women through the music industry in the forms of gangster rap and misogynist lyrics will not be tolerated any longer. Principle must come before profit. Music that glorifies and promotes violence with guns, knives, or drugs and denigrates and defames women.
How many rappers do you know have beef with a civil rights activist and the Vice President of the United States and actually won? It's a pretty short list of one name, so I'm going to give you a hint. His name, Tupac Shakur. Back in 1992, Tupac was accused of being responsible for the death of a policeman that was killed all the way in Texas. A man he never met, saw, or even knew.
Forth the linchpin of his argument that Howard should not be put to death because of a mitigating circumstance, that he had been incited to kill Trooper Bill Davidson by listening to a particularly violent form of rap music known as gangster rap. The night of the shooting, Howard was listening to gangster rapper Tupac Shakur's 2Pac's album, which contains a dozen songs that describe the killing of cops. Tanner argued that the music reinforced Howard's childhood hatred of cops. The words of the rappers became Howard's gospel.
Ronald idolized these guys. These guys were his heroes. And they were telling him, hey, look, you've come from a bad background. You've had these white cops messing with you all these years. You know, these guys are telling him, his heroes, Ronald, fight back.
Tupac's lyrics from his debut album, 2Pac's Now, supposedly incited a man called Ronald Ray Howard to shoot Texas State Trooper Bill Davidson. The shooter, 19-year-old Ronald Ray Howard, was already an ex-con. He was driving a stolen Chevy Blazer on Highway 59. Howard drives past 43-year-old State Trooper Bill Davidson, who noticed that one of Howard's headlights was missing.
He'd been home to eat with his wife and had just gone back on his tour of duty. He was checked out at an abandoned vehicle when Ronald Ray Howard's vehicle came by and a headlight was out.
Howard was ordered to pull over by the state trooper before the cop eventually approaches the vehicle. Howard was already on probation for auto theft, so he made up his mind that he didn't want to be arrested again. Instead, he picked up the 9mm gun lying on his passenger seat. Howard was patient and began looking out the side window, waiting for the right moment when he knew the cop was close enough that he wouldn't miss. The 19-year-old shot the state trooper in the neck before speeding away from the crime scene.
Enough, as he said, that he knew he wouldn't miss. He leaned out the window, stuck the gun up against his throat. The trooper actually stuck his hand up to try to deflect or get away. The bullet went through his hand and through his throat.
Trooper Davidson lay bleeding along the shoulder of the highway. He would die from his wounds 3 days later.
Fortunately, Howard was arrested later in the night and made to pay for his crimes. However, although he wasn't present at the scene or in Texas at all, Tupac was accused of inciting the shooting because the shooter was bumping Tupacalypse in the stolen car when he was pulled over.
Forth the linchpin of his argument that Howard should not be put to death because of a mitigating circumstance, that he had been incited to kill Trooper Bill Davidson by listening to a particularly violent form of rap music known as gangster rap. The night of the shooting, Howard was listening to gangster rapper Tupac Shakur's 2Pac's album, which contains a dozen songs that describe the killing of cops. Tanner argued that the music reinforced Howard's childhood hatred of cops. The words of the rappers became Howard's gospel.
Ronald idolized these guys. These guys were his heroes. And they were telling him, hey, look, you've come from a bad background. You've had these white cops messing with you all these years. You know, these guys are telling him, his heroes, Ronald, fight back.
Now, bear in mind that coke and weed were also found in Howard's body at the time of the murder, but it was Pac's music, gangster rap, that was blamed for this murder. This accusation was taken even more seriously when the #2 man in the country got involved. Vice President Dan Quayle called for Tupac's label Interscope Records to withdraw Pac's album from all record stores.
Today, I am suggesting that Time Warner's subsidiary, Interscope Records, withdraw this record. It has no place in our society.
I was raised in this society, so there's no way you can expect me to be a perfect person. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. That's how I feel. I'm gonna do whatever I like. I'm not a role model or nothing.
The state trooper's family has filed suit against Tupac and his record label, charging the song was grossly negligent and led to lawless actions which claimed the trooper's life.
Pac stated in an interview, "I got Dan Quayle all on TV talking about yanking my whole album off the shelf before the trial even began. He just judged me. They ain't even judged the dude who shot the cop yet. He ain't even been judged, and they judged me? Way across town, you know what I'm saying? That crushed me. It made me totally give up on America because I'm a citizen of this country." Pac then dissed Quayle in 1993 on the song Peep Game. Vice President Dan Quayle, eat a dick up. But apart from the vice president, the next person Tupac had a beef with was someone who didn't stop campaigning against him even after Pac died in 1996. In fact, this woman was known by some as an anti-rap activist. Her name is Cynthia Delores Tucker. Delores was born in Philadelphia, a civil rights activist and politician. But from the 1990s and towards the end of her life, Delores began a campaign against gangster rap music. Delores stated that the lyrics of rappers like Tupac and gangster music in general were misogynistic and threatened the moral foundation of the African American community.
And I'd like someone to bring me what made me say enough is enough. Where's my graphic? Bring it up here, please, somebody. I am here to put the nation on notice that violence perpetuated against women through the music industry in the forms of gangster rap and misogynist lyrics will not be tolerated any longer. Principle must come before profit.
Delores Tucker went as far as staging a protest outside record stores that sold gangster rap music and dissuading people from buying the records. But she didn't stop there. She put her money where her mouth was. She bought stocks in Sony, Time Warner, and other major record companies so that she could protest against gangster rap at the stakeholder meetings.
Music that glorifies and promotes violence with guns, knives, or drugs, and denigrates and defames women. Today, however, through the lyrics of rappers who display no respect for women, no respect for families, and little respect for themselves, the souls of our sisters are being destroyed, and so too their progeny. All of us have watched as the industry have grown. We have watched not really knowing, not really understanding, not first realizing the damage that is inherent in what some thought were merely words.
Tucker was dissed and called narrow-minded by many members of the hip-hop community. Tupac dissed Delores on his song How Do You Want It? And Pac didn't stop there. He also dissed Tucker on the song Wonder Why They Call You Bitch.
Dear Miss Delores Tucker, right? You keep stressing me, really fucking with a motherfucking mind. I figured you wanted to know, why we call them hoes bitches. Maybe this might help you understand. It ain't personal, strictly business, baby.
After she was dissed on these two songs, Delores Tucker filed a $10 million lawsuit against Tupac's estate, stating that his lyrics inflicted emotional distress, were slanderous, and invaded her privacy. However, Delores lost in court as her case was dismissed. But tell me in the comments, do you think Delores Tucker was eventually right about what she said? The next two names on this list were two of the most feared gangsters in all of New York back in the 90s. I'm talking about Haitian Jack and Jimmy Henchman. Tupac met Haitian Jack in New York in 1993, while he was preparing for his role in the movie Above the Rim. Pac was impressed by his lifestyle, so the two men hit it off and began hanging out together. After hanging out together for the first time, every other time Pac was in the Big Apple, you would most likely find him hanging out with Haitian Jack. Although there were several people such as Biggie who warned Pac hanging out with Haitian Jack, the two remained friends. But all this changed in November 1993.
I tell people, you don't really know Pac, because Pac don't even know Pac. He got the right name. There's definitely 2Pac's there. It's not one, it's two of them. Pac was all good when I was doing good things to him, until we caught that punk-ass case that was easily could have been beaten by both of us.
The singer was arrested Thursday night after a woman claimed that he and 3 other men overpowered her in a hotel suite.
He let his attorneys turn him against me, and that's the part that I'll never forgive him for, because I'm gonna ride or die with you, homie. I expect you to do the same. See, that's what I call a fair weather friend. Everything's good when everything's good, you know? But as soon as we catch a punk-ass case, right? You start telling me, oh, I can't talk to you, my attorneys. I'm like, what?
Tupac, alongside his road manager, Charles Fuller, and Haitian Jack, were charged with sodomizing Ayanna Jackson in his hotel room. After he was charged with sexual assault, Pac believed Haitian Jack was a snitch because he wasn't in court like Pac was.
To what they think is that I represent lawlessness and the outlaw mentality, and I represent that thug mentality from the street. So they feel like if they can punish me, then it'll punish people who are not as brave as I am, who don't speak out against things like me, who not scared to walk through the streets with no bodyguards. So they need to put me in jail. These other guys, they don't have to put in jail because they can arrest them on smaller things. They can't arrest me on those small things. They got to frame me. They got to do things like this. They got to have, 30 charges and none of them have to do with me. You know what I'm saying? How can you, if you really, while all these cameras are here, everybody goes something to grow on. How am I going to forcibly do anything to a girl after she did it to me consensually? And that's not something I'm making up. That's what they said. They said that. The girl came to court and said she did this, she did that, she called my hotel, it was good. She said that, not me. Now, why am I going to force her? I mean, this is common sense. But no matter what happens, innocent or guilty, my life is ruined. I'm guilty of a lot of things. I'm guilty probably of being a male chauvinist pig. I'm guilty of probably not caring as much as I should. I'm guilty of not spending enough time with people like I should. But I'm not guilty of rape. Just because I don't want to be with that girl don't mean that she has the right to say that I did all of these things that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Just because, of course I can't spend my life with all the girls that I spend time with. But I'm not married. You know what I'm saying? That's not a crime for me to be promiscuous.
The census here that is what one discussed. She wasn't prepared, she says, for what happened to her, and it wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay, so she wasn't prepared for what happened. So where are those people that did this? They were all in the same hotel as me. They were all right in the same room with me. Why am I the only one in court right now? Why is the cameras all on me? And in the report, in all these charges, I didn't do nothing. I'm charged with being in concert with some guys. Well, where they at? Why me? Because I'm Tupac. No, I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at the system. I don't want nobody else to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to jail for something I didn't do.
Haitian Jack got a separate trial, and he wasn't prosecuted like Pac. Tupac felt he was being scapegoated and accused Haitian Jack of talking to the feds, because although they were both accused of the same crime, Haitian Jack somehow got a different trial. After being called a snitch, Haitian Jack claimed that he told his people not to hurt Tupac. However, he stated that one of his homeboys had something to prove. Well, the man who had something to prove was Jimmy Henchman. Henchman set Pac up to be robbed at Quad Studios in 1994. Tupac was supposed to record a verse for Jimmy Henchman's artist, Little Sean. However, when he got to the location, Pac was robbed and shot 5 times in the lobby of the building. Tupac then had some words for both Jimmy Henchman and Haitian Jack on a song Against All Odds.
I heard he was light-skinned, stocky, with a Haitian accent. Jewelry, fast cars, and he's known for flashing. Listen while I take you back and lace this rap. A real live tale about a snitch named Haitian Jack. Knew he was working for the feds. Same crime, different trials. Nigga, picture what he said. And did I mention? Promise to pay back Jimmy Henchman. In due time, I know you bitch niggas is listening.
This Quad Studio shooting also ruined Tupac's relationship with one of his closest friends, Big Stretch. The shooting made Pac very paranoid, and he didn't know who to trust anymore. Stretch was with Tupac when he was robbed at Quad Studios, but Pac believed that Stretch was part of the people who set him up, and their relationship never recovered from this. Pac was sent to Rikers Island shortly after his shooting because of the sexual assault charge. Tupac's belief that Stretch did set him up was then strengthened by the fact that he stated that Stretch never visited while he was in prison. Instead, he stated that Stretch began hanging out with Biggie, who Pac was also beefing with during this period. Stretch was murdered on the 30th of November 1995, and Tupac rhymed about him on the song Against All Odds.
And that nigga that was down for me rested dead. Switch sides, guess his new friends wanted him dead.
But while Stretch was one of Tupac's closest friends, the next name on this list was someone Pac had only known or seen on TV. Back in the 90s, Wendy Williams began spreading rumors that Pac was sexually assaulted while he was in jail. Pac wasted no time responding to rumors by first talking about it while in jail.
See, the media, they make me act like I would act. I'm in jail, they reporting that I'm getting raped in jail. I'm sitting in jail, niggas is begging on my door going, "Pa, when? Why you ain't say that? What's going on?" Talking about I got raped in jail. Ain't this a bitch?
You did an interview with somebody USA Today, right?
Yeah.
Just about that, right?
No, I didn't even talk to them. They got that from somebody else. This other lady. But, you know what it was, though? I think this country just got a fixation on my dick. You know what I mean? Because I got shot 5 times. All they wanted to talk about was my dick. The shot they went through my dick. And nothing is wrong. They can't believe it. Jay Leno to my now he called 1Pac. You know what I mean? Now, if I go on his show and pull my dick out, I'm going to be an evil nigga. You know, everybody will be like, oh, he's so disgusting. That's just what a black person would do. But this nigga talking about my dick on TV. Now, if I go in there and just naked, you know what I mean? Just sit up on this shit and go, what you call me? Count, nigga. 1, 2. What you call me? No scars, nothing. My shit is miraculously healed.
He then went ahead to diss Wendy Williams on the song Why You Turn On Me.
Then I got raped in jail. Picture that. Revenge is a payback, bitch. Get your gat fucked. Then I'm praying choke on the next stick down your throat for turning on me.
However, this issue didn't end here. New Jersey rapper Chino XL decided to ride on Pac's fame by mocking him about getting graped on his song Riot.
By this industry, I'm trying not to get fucked like Tupac in jail.
And Pac wasn't going to let this go without replying. Even Ras Kass, the rapper who was featured on the song, stated that he told Chino XL that he didn't like the line.
I almost didn't finish the song because of the line. But yeah, just because I was like, bro, I don't like that shit. I don't like that line, bro. And you know, we worked through it, did the song. I kind of forgot about it, to be perfectly honest, until Pac.
Pac eventually dissed Chino XL with that famous line on Hit 'Em Up.
Chino XL, fuck you too.
But I'm sure you already know that Chino XL wasn't the only rapper Pac dissed on Hit 'Em Up. Legendary Queens hip-hop group Mobb Deep were one of the names Pac mentioned on Hit 'Em Up. Mobb Deep initially had no beef with Tupac. Instead, the death row artist they had beef with was actually Snoop Dogg. Mobb Deep felt Snoop and his group Dog Pound disrespected New York by kicking down buildings in the New York, New York video. Especially because the first building Snoop kicked down in that video was the Citibank building, which was the tallest building in Queens at the time. And Queens is the hood that Mobb Deep belongs to. Mobb Deep, alongside Tragedy Gaddafi and Capone and Noriega, released a response to the song called LALA, dissing the Dog Pound as a response for their city. Prodigy stated that he believes that Tupac felt a need to come at them because they had dissed his label mates and his city. Pac had a few lines from Mobb Deep on Hit 'Em Up.
Oh yeah, Mobb Deep. You wanna fuck with us? You little young ass motherfuckers. Don't one of you niggas got sickle cell or something?
Mobb Deep released their own response to Hit 'Em Up with the diss track Drop a Gem on 'Em.
Rikers Island flashbacks of the house you got scuffed it in. You would think that getting your headshots enough, but then now you want to go on my team. Must have been drunk when you wrote that shit. Who shot her? You probably screamed louder than an opera. New York gotcha. Now you want to use my mom as the crutch. What you think you can't get bucked again, once again?
Tupac not only had beef with East Coast rappers or rivals, but also people within his camp, on his label. Pac and Dr. Dre work together and are responsible for creating a number of classics. However, the two West Coast legends were never friends. In fact, this is one of the many reasons why Dre actually left Death Row Records. Pac stated that he didn't like Dre because he wasn't down for his man Snoop Dogg like he expected him to be.
We back right here with Tupac, you know, just chopping up a little bit. can't let you hear everything, you know. Some stuff.
Put it down, though.
Yeah. My man definitely putting it down. One more thing about Death Row. Now, how does what's going on with Dre, and how does that affect Death Row as a whole? The whole now.
Dre's doing his own thing. It don't affect us. My take on what happened was that Snoop was on trial for murder, fighting for his life. Somebody had said that Dre was in the car. The jury believed that. We needed Dre to be there to say he wasn't there. Once they would have saw him, they would have known he wasn't there, and that would have saved Snoop's whole case. Because they would have saw that the witness that had said it was lying. And Dre never showed up. He was too busy. That's how they told me. When they told me that, I was like, well, no matter how dope he is, and Dre's one of my heroes in the music business, but I was like, no matter how dope he is, if he's not down for his homeboy, Snoop, who brought him back when he was just a relic, when niggas was dissing him, you know what I mean? Then I don't want to be a part of him. I don't want to be around him or nothing. Plus, I feel as though what's done in the dark will come to light. It's secrets that everybody's going to find out about that I don't have to play a hate or dry snitch about. That will come out, you'll find out for yourself, and you'll know why.
This beef also stemmed from the fact that these are two very different personalities who also had different working styles. Pac wanted to make and release music quickly and consistently, while Dre, on the other hand, was a perfectionist who wanted to take his time with every record.
And he wasn't producing shit. Other niggas was producing the beat, like on my album. Other niggas was doing the beat, and Dre was getting the credit. And I gotta go on MTV and be like, yeah, he did this, he did that. No, he ain't do it. He is a dope producer, but he ain't worked in years. And I got tired of that. I didn't think we needed that. I think we didn't need that. And he was owning the company too, and he's chilling. He owning the company, he's chilling this out, sucking dick, eating pussy. I'm out here in the street, you know what I mean? Whooping niggas' ass, starting wars and shit, putting it down, dropping albums, doing my shit. And this nigga's taking 3 years to do one song.
Pac also dissed Dre on the song Toss It Up.
Dre Day, hurry for dirt Jake, grown and forgotten, rotten for plotting, child's play, check your sexuality, as fruity as this Alizé, quick to jump ship, pump trick, what a dumb move, cross death row, now who you gon' run to?
However, Dr. Dre wasn't the only death row artist Tupac had issues with. Towards the end of his life, Pac and Snoop stopped being friends. Pac and Snoop's friendship was the stuff of legends. It was two players, two of America's most wanted, who ruled the West Coast hip-hop scene.
Snoop, did you find yourself after the trial, like in the studio, trying to get some stuff done? Or?
You know what? My people from Death Row, they took me out of town, you know what I'm saying, to release my mind. That's something I really needed, you know what I'm saying? I had fun in the water. I went to the water, I was in the sky, me and Tupac was like 30 feet in the air.
Unfortunately, this bromance didn't last forever. Pac and Snoop started beefing because of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Pac stated that Snoop wasn't down for him like he expected him to be. At the peak of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, Snoop had an interview in New York on BET Talk, where he stated that he had no beef with Biggie and that he was a fan of his music.
To Illinois, to Tanya. Tanya, thanks for calling. You on BET Talk.
Yes, I want to give much props to BET and to you, Travis. To Snoop, I want to know, what is your relationship with Suge Knight and with Biggie Small?
My relationship with Suge Knight, that's my CEO, my partner, my homeboy, my love, my business, my inspiration, my love. Biggie Smalls, he's an artist that you know what I'm saying, I listen to his music, I love his work. There's no beef, it's nothing personal. I don't hate him and I don't disrespect him and I love what he do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just me, I'm just a smooth, peaceful individual. I don't have beef with nobody right now, baby.
Pac was unhappy with this, and he felt Snoop was playing both sides and not being loyal to his crew. This was also because Tupac and Snoop had allegedly recorded diss tracks against Biggie, and Pac was disappointed that Snoop was lying on camera. This beef got so bad that Snoop even said in an interview that he was willing to stab Suge and Pac on the last flight they took together.
I'm like, what's up, Pac? And they do me like this. So I walk to the back of the plane, give me a blanket, grab me a knife and a fork, put the blanket over my nose right here, my little black glasses on, and ride like this the whole flight, hoping one of them come with me so I could stab out everybody on this mother.
And if not for the issues they had, Snoop would have probably been with Pac and Suge in Vegas on the night they were shot. Unfortunately, Pac and Snoop never got to settle their beef before Pac was murdered. This next rapper Pac had beef with was initially an inspiration for Tupac. LL Cool J, one of the rappers he used to look up to.
I remember break dancing the Melly Mel, tickling hard LL when he rocked the bells.
However, the two might have started beefing because LL released a song titled I Shot Ya, which Pac felt was referring to and mocking what happened to him at Quad Studios. But this beef could have also been caused by the fact that LL Cool J was dating Kidada Jones for about 2 years before she started going out with Tupac. On the last line of his song, Lil Homies, Pac had some lines for LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, say what? Nigga, I rock your motherfucking best.
The next name on this list would have been one of Tupac's biggest beefs if he wasn't killed. Apart from all the East Coast legends Pac mentioned on Hit 'Em Up, he also had beefs with other East Coast artists whose name didn't make it to the song. One of such names was Jay-Z. Pac and Jay always had mutual respect for each other. However, after the East Coast-West Coast rivalry began, Pac decided to go at Jay too because he was good friends with Biggie, especially because Jay also featured Biggie on the song Brooklyn's Finest. This beef actually got quite heated. According to Gene Deal, Jay-Z had a performance in Vegas. Pac and his homies found out what hotel Jay was staying at, and they weren't going to let him come out of his room.
The story was that Jay was going to try to perform in Vegas, but Pac was in Vegas, and him and his dudes now. And they wasn't going to let Jay-Z come out the hotel. They found out where Jay was at.
Jay would have actually missed his performance on this day, but Dame Dash found a way to contact Suge Knight, who then told Pac to stand down.
Then Dame Dash called some people, and they got back to Chaz, and they made some phone calls, and Suge Knight had said, yo, that ain't me, bro, that's Pac with his wild self, man. I'm gonna call him off, Jay. So he called the dogs off. Suge called Pac, and they let Jay go do his concert and everything like that.
Pac then dissed Jay-Z on the song All Out. This beef would have involved a number of good diss tracks, but unfortunately, Pac was killed before Jay even got a chance to respond. But according to DJ Clark Kent, Jay had recorded a diss track against Pac, but he never released it out of respect for the dead. However, Jay did perform the song during his performance at the Apollo.
Well, you mentioned in a previous interview that Jay-Z had a Tupac diss record that never got released.
Yeah, it never got released. No. But he performed it live at the Apollo one day we was doing the show.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
We actually tried to get that footage, but we couldn't get it.
Yeah, it was tough. He performed the record. He was like, yo, no disrespect to the dead, but you just can't say whatever to me.
Oh, so he actually performed it after Pac passed?
Yeah. Yeah, we was at the Apollo.
So, what do you think? Everyone knows about Pac's beef with Biggie, but it's time to talk about Pac's other beefs as well. And who do you think would have won the beef between Pac and Jay-Z? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.